Supreme Court has said you can redistrict any time. So, but this notion that all of a sudden that the governor, the speaker of the House, and lieutenant governor, which by the way, they rarely agree on the time of day to meet for lunch, all three of them agree that Trump's Department of Justice is right, that we have congressional districts that were drawn with race as a preference, and that's a flag and a flaw, and we need to fix them. Here's the problem. We had this fight in 2021. We're still in federal court in 2025 fighting this fight. The trial just reopened in June. So Senator Joan Huffman, who I've worked with on policy, she drew these maps. She's in charge. She just took a federal stand at a federal courthouse, and for you lawyers and judges here, I mean, this is the real deal. And she raised her hand and swore under oath, under lots of things, including penalty of perjury, he was going to tell the truth. And she testified in June at a federal courthouse in El Paso. These districts were not drawn with race in mind. Now we have a Trump letter from the DOJ says, hey, you drew these lines with race in mind. My question is, who's lying? Who's lying? So folks, bottom line, they're cheating here. They're cheating here because they're worried about the big picture, about losing the majority in the U.S. House, finally having a chamber of government to hold Trump accountable. They're scared. And they want to make up their losses by extending their wins in Texas. We can't let them do that. We got to push back. Make no mistake, they're not talking about San Antonio yet. They're talking about Houston and Dallas and Fort Worth. The difference between the district I represent and Joaquin's district, I can have a variance of 5% of population. I can be over 5%, I can be under 5%. And what they call the ideal population, Joaquin's district is the same number as the folks in Amarillo, as the folks in Baytown, Texas, as the folks in Laredo. So everybody has to have the same amount of constituents. So whatever they do in Houston and Fort Worth will come to San Antonio. And if they want to make Republican gains in Texas, they're going to start in Laredo. They're going to start in South Texas with Vicente Gonzalez. Vicente comes all the way up here, goes to Seguin. Henry comes into San Antonio, takes part of the east side of San Antonio and the Alamo. They're coming to San Antonio. We got to be ready. We cannot give up. And we have a little bit of extra help. There are a couple of fellas, Chip Roy and Tony Gonzalez. They're not big fans of Trump. I mean, they've pushed back a little bit. You've seen them. Guess whose districts they're going to have to tweak? If they want to make San Antonio more competitive, where do you think the Republicans are going to come from? They're going to come from Chip's district. They're going to come from Gonzalez's district. I think all of the juice has already been squeezed when they drew these maps in 2021. And they're still trying to defend them. Now they want to tweak them again. San Antonio, we're going to be impacted. We got to stay alert. We got to be on top of it. We got to support, Joaquin and Greg Saar and Henry Cuellar, our Bexar County delegation, because it's important, because we rely on them. And we do need to have a check on this administration, and the House is the place to have that fight. So